Welcome to How to Train a Dragon 2. Now, before I begin, I want to give a quick disclaimer. I do not claim ownership over any clips used. Copyright goes to its rightful owner. The movie begins on Berk, 5 years after the first, where dragons are now officially living with the Vikings and are treated as pets. The Viking kids except Hiccup are competing in dragon racing, where they have to catch a sheep and then dunk it in their own respective basket, which Astrid ends up winning. We then see that Hiccup and Toothless are out exploring and are practicing flying solo, with Hiccup's new flight suit and Toothless' new fin that helps him fly without Hiccup's help. After almost crashing, they land on a newly discovered island where they are accompanied by Astrid and her dragon Stormfly. Hiccup tells her that Stoic wants him to become chief of Berk, which he doesn't think he's ready for, but Astrid tells him it's a huge honor and a responsibility. They then see smoke in the distance and decide to go and investigate. They find this ice thing, and as they're investigating it, Stormfly gets shot down by dragon trappers. They go to free her and they meet dragon trapper Ered, son of Ered. Ered captures dragons for Drago Bloodfist's dragon army. He also blames them for the destruction of their fort and for being friends with the dragon rider who actually destroyed it. This is a surprise to Hiccup, as he believes that Berk was the only place that had dragon riders. Ered's crew tries to capture Toothless but fails, and Hiccup is able to free Stormfly and the two of them fly away. They go back to Berk, where they tell Stoic about Drago Bloodfist and his dragon army. After hearing that name, Stoic orders the island to close and to prepare for war. Hiccup is against this order, as he believes he can change Drago's mind and prevent the war. Stoic tells him it's impossible, but despite that, Hiccup still flies off, with Astrid following him. They go back to Ered and his crew and surrender themselves. Hiccup wants to be taken to Drago to try and change his mind. As he is trying to change Ered's mind on dragons, he is interrupted by the other Viking kids, Gobber and Stoic, boarding the boat. Stoic demands Hiccup to return and tells them that years ago there was a meeting with all the Viking chiefs to talk about the dragon problem, and during it, Drago claimed he can control the dragons and he could keep them safe if they bowed down to him and followed him, which they all just laughed at. After he left, armored dragons came from the roof and burned the building to the ground, leaving Stoic as the only survivor. Hiccup still believes he can change Drago's mind, since he managed to change Stoic's mind before flying off. Astrid tries to follow him, but Stoic stops her, as he has had enough mutiny for one day, and he orders her to fly the other Viking kids back to Berk. As Hiccup and Toothless are flying, another dragon rider appears, and as Hiccup and Toothless are focused on a person, Hiccup is taken by another dragon, which makes Toothless crash into the ice water, where he's dragged down by other dragons, leaving only Hiccup's helmet floating on the surface. Hiccup is taken to another one of these ice things. In there, he's reunited with Toothless, and other rider is revealed to Hiccup's mom, Valka. She takes him to this dragon paradise sanctuary thing and doesn't believe him when he says that Berk has changed, and she tried to convince Stoic and the rest of Berk that he can learn to coexist with dragons. She tells Hiccup that one night during an attack, a dragon got into their house. She rushed to save Hiccup, but there she saw everything she believed about coexisting. That dragons are intelligent and gentle creatures, but because of her hesitation to kill the dragon, she almost got both Hiccup and Stoic killed and ended up being taken by the dragon. That's why she stayed away, because like her son, she couldn't bring herself to kill dragons. Instead, she rescues them from Drago and brings them to the sanctuary. She then shows him the Bewilderbeast, the alpha dragon, the king of all dragons, who can control the smaller dragons and who created the sanctuary and who protects them. The two of them then go a ride where he shows her his flight suit, and she shows him and Toothless how to deploy a double row of smaller fins on Toothless' back. That makes it easier for him to make tighter turns. She then offers him to stay with her there, but Hiccup still wants to find Drago. Stoic and Gobber are trying to find Hiccup. They see the ice with Toothless cracked and find Hiccup's helmet. With the help of Stoic's dragon, they're able to track down Hiccup, but as they are leaving, Stoic sees that Valka is still alive and the two of them are reunited. Meanwhile, Astrid and the Viking kids kidnap Ered and forces him to lead them to Drago. Later are captured and taken to him, and after he learns about Hiccup, Toothless and all of Berk's dragons, he orders his crew to attack the dragon's nest, and then they attack Berk. He then orders Ered to be executed, but Stormfly saves him, prompting him to save them when they all said to be executed, and then helping them free their dragons. Back with Hiccup, Stoic and Valka dance and rekindle their love and decide to return to Berk. That's when they are attacked by Drago and his army. As they try to save the dragons, they are joined by Astrid, the other Viking kids, and Ered. Valka decides to bring out the alpha, which is exactly what Drago wanted, as he himself has another alpha to challenge Valka's. The two alphas fight, and Valka's alpha is killed, and Drago takes control of most of the dragons. Hiccup tries to talk to Drago and make him stop the violence, but he refuses and makes the alpha take control of Toothless, and then orders him to kill Hiccup. Hiccup tries to make Toothless snap out of it as he prepares to fire a plasma blast at Hiccup. Stoic sees it and rushes to rescue him and takes the blast, killing him instantly. Toothless gets back in control. Realizing his action, he goes to comfort and help Stoic, but is pushed away and yelled at by a grieving Hiccup. The alpha takes control of all of the dragons, and they set off to attack Berk, with Drago riding on Toothless. And how he's able to do that, since earlier in the movie when Hiccup was taken and Toothless fell on the ice, Hiccup says that Toothless can't fly without him. So how is Drago able to fly Toothless without touching any of the modifications that Hiccup has added? They hold a Viking funeral for Stoic. Hiccup feels lost without his father and his dragon, so Valka reminds him that his father believed he could unite humans and dragons. Inspired, Hiccup decides that he will fly back to Berk to defend his people and live up to his father's legacy. Hiccup comes up with the idea to fly back to Berk on baby dragons, since they don't listen to anyone and therefore are immune to the alpha's control. When they arrive at Berk, Drago and the alpha have already attacked and taken control of all the dragons. Hiccup orders the others to distract the alpha while he confronts Drago and Toothless. Drago is surprised to see Hiccup still alive and promises he won't miss this time. Hiccup tries to get Toothless out of the alpha's control while saying that it wasn't his fault, that they made him do it, that he knows Toothless would never hurt him or his father, and that he's his best friend, which works, and Toothless throws Drago off. Drago falls onto the alpha while Hiccup gets onto Toothless. Hiccup makes a blindfold of Toothless so he doesn't get controlled by the alpha again, and when Hiccup puts on the blindfold it looks whole, but when they zoom in it has a tear. As Hiccup blows Drago off the alpha, he confronts him on the ground. Hiccup and Toothless are encased in ice, and as the village grieves their deaths, the ice starts to glow blue and breaks, revealing both Hiccup and Toothless unharmed. Toothless, now glowing blue, challenges the alpha and repeatedly attacks it with his plasma blast, making the alpha lose control of the dragons, which all all join Toothless and begin raining fire on Alpha and Drago. Finally, Toothless fires one last massive blast, breaking one of the Alpha's tusks, which makes the Alpha retreat to sea with Drago, as the village begins celebrating. All the dragons acknowledge Toothless as the new Alpha, and Hiccup is officially made Chief of Berk by the village elder. We then see Hiccup helping rebuild the village, a statue of Stoke being built in his honor, and Astrid and the Viking kids competing in dragon racing, with Hiccup joining them and helping Astrid win. And the movie ends with Hiccup narrating, while others may have armies and armadas, Berk has their dragons.